Hello everyone, Skids here, bringing you first episode of my Titanfall lore series, a show where I will tell you some background information about Titanfall, things about story, lore, background of robots, and all the other stuff that doesn't fit in any other series or has nothing to do with gameplay. So for this first episode, I decided to cover the story of campaign, which was played by most of you since you need to play it in order to unlock the Titans. And a lot of people didn't get the story since it was just happening during action and it was way too fast paced and there wasn't really much explanation to it. So even I didn't get it really, but after reading a few articles, playing through it 2 or 3 times, I finally get it now, and how I will explain it to you. So first let me tell you what the frontier is. The frontier is, you could say, wild west of space, and it's basically uncharted territory where everyone do what he wants. They're mining resources, they're living there, they're starting colonies there because, you know, it's uncharted territory, no one really explored it yet, and so they're just trying to be the first ones to be there and to explore it. Now we have two opposing factions that fight at frontier. The AMC, you could say the worst faction. They're not bad, but you could say they're the worst one. And this is the faction that created all the robots, titans, specters, and all the robotic stuff you can see in the game. And they started off as a small company called Hammer Robotics, but they get greedy, they want to explore, expand their empire, and so they decided that they need to take the frontier for the supplies, because they want to expand, like I said. And so they decided to attack the frontier. And on the other side we have Militia, who are these groups of, you could say, rogues, pirates, and other, you could say, low life that form together, and you could say they create a perimeter of defense for the frontier. And they don't want, of course, they don't want AMC. They're just, you know, ripping off the resources that they use and they live and destroy the territory. So the story kicks off in a refueling raid, which is done by Militia, because they're in dire need of fuel. So they raid an AMC, you know, fuel station, and as they're raiding the fuel station, you know, it's going well. The AMC is trying to tap them, as fit in almost all missions, and they hear a distress signal by McCallan, a former AMC general, who led a mutiny on a ship called Odyssey, and so he's now one of the most wanted men of AMC. And of course Militia wants to get to him first because he could help them. You know, he has some information about AMC from his side, while AMC wants to, you know, get rid of him because he's more wanted, he's fugitive, and no one likes those kind of people. You know what I'm saying? So they both go to the signal, which leads them to second mission, Colony, when they'll encounter for first time some civilists, you know, and the civilists don't want to get involved in their war. They just normal people living there, and they don't want the Militia or AMC involving in their, you know, territory. And this is the first time we can actually see that not any of these sides is really that good, because, you know, both Militia and AMC are destroying basically civilians. So now let me just tell you how the mission goes. So both Militia and AMC arrive at the colony, like I said, and they're both chasing after McCallan. They clash. Militia manages to recruit McCallan, and it tells them about Odyssey and that he knows how to destroy AMC. So again, AMC fails, and they both go to Odyssey because McCallan knows that there are some supplies there, and McCallan is actually the leader, you know, the guy that you can see near Graves at the start of this next third mission, the Odyssey. As they arrive at the Odyssey, the boat again forces clash. They both want to get some, you know, resources from the Odyssey because it already crashed and it's just sitting there. Crash, you know, just a wreck. So they both try to salvage stuff from it. They both succeed, you could say. They both get some of the, you know, salvageable parts, so they both get some supplies. And now the next part of Militia plan is to get an ex-AMC pilot called Barker, who was involved in so-called Titan Wars that I'll try to explain in some future videos. And they head out to Angel City, where he is, because he became a drunkard and he's just drinking down in the Angel City, doing basically nothing else but drinking. And you could say that he's some sort of funny guy, because when you arrive and again Militia wins, they arrive at Angel City, forces clash, Militia again wins, AMC is failing to stop them. They see them now as a threat, finally, because, you know, they're getting their asses handed to them. So AMC is like, wow, we're actually losing this. So they're a little bit more careful, but that doesn't really help them, because Militia gets Baker because they need him, because he's an excellent pilot and he can help them in their war against AMC. And of course he has to agree because he could say, taken from them. And yeah, so he agrees. They fly off the Angel City, but again Militia succeeding. And after that, and during the battle, and a ship appears from AMC to help them, but it fails. It is called Sentinel, and since the militia damaged it, they go out for the 5th mission of the campaign, and that is attack on Sentinel. And on the Sentinel they again arrive. AMC is trying to stop them as always. It's usually pretty simple for AMC, they're basically only defending, and militia again succeeds and destroys Sentinel. So after that the militia kinda steps up the game. They know they can actually win because they're winning, they're whooping their asses. AMC is getting scared, and so they head off to Boneyard, an old AMC base that used to have this repulsor technology that kept the wildlife away from it. You know, you can see those big ass dragons that are there. Yeah, you can shoot them down for 100 points. Go shoot them with Titan, they're worth it. And anyhow, let me get back to the story. So as I was saying, they get out to Boneyard because they want to take this repulsor technology that kept the dragons away from the base before it got offline. So they want to reverse engineer it and kinda, you know, learn how it works and take it and use it against AMC. So they go there, again they succeed, they take the repulsor, and you know, AMC again fails because I don't know, this game just hates them. So yeah, militia again succeeds, and now they step up again in their plan and they head off to 3 towers with repulsor technology. They want to get it offline because it's working at the 3 towers, you know, wildlife can't get to them, but they want to get it offline, and you know, they just simply attack 3 towers. AMC is again trying to stab them, and as the battle goes on, you know, the militia kicking their asses again. You can for first time hear a conversation between Graves, an AMC leader, and McCallan, the leader of the, you could say, the militia. And it's revealed that 10 years ago they worked together. I think they were friends of AMC both, you know, because McCallan was part of AMC before all this mutiny at Odyssey. So there's the first time they can actually interact, and you can hear the conversation. And again militia succeeds, and they take down the 3 towers, and the 3 towers, they, you could say, they fell, and the 3 towers get destroyed by wildlife that attacks them, you know, probably those big dragons and some other stuff, you know. And so the militia can finally head off to their almost final mission on how to stop the AMC from taking the frontier, and is destroying Demeter, a very important refueling station that basically gets fuel for all the AMC's forces. And you know, without fuel they can't get to the frontier part where the militia is, and so they have to you know, defend it. Again, militia attacks the Demeter. It's an epic battle, I have to say. Both cinematics for both sides are great. I like the one for AIMS a little bit more because you can see it from the top side, while the militia one is a little bit from downside, and you can see how the explosions go and, you know, the stuff like that. While from AMC you can see from top. And as I was saying, the McCallan, the leader of the militia army, like I said, tries to go off to reactor because he wants to blow it up, blow up the station. And Blisk, part of that blonde guy, you know, the blonde guy who directs you, tells you stuff like, you know, what to do at the start if it's attrition or hardpoint. The guy chases after McCallan. They actually engage. They can't use firearms, so they can only use fists because they would overload the reactor and basically blow the shit to hell. They have a little bit of conversation, they try to persuade each other, but it doesn't work out well. And McCallan managed to lock himself in the reactor room. And as the battle goes on, militia again succeeds, but thanks to McCallan, who sacrifices himself by blowing up the reactor. And since he's already closed in, he can't basically escape. But before McCallan dies, there's a conversation with Graves about the mutiny of Odyssey, and he tells everyone that Graves actually persuaded McCallan to do the mutiny. And so it is revealed that you could say that Graver is a traitor in AMC's, I mean, Graves is a traitor in the ranks. And so yeah, they're like, wow, we have a traitor over here. And so Graves decides to switch sides right before McCallan is killed by the huge explosion, and Graves is outside of militia, and AMC is crippled. They lost their main leader, they lost their fuel station, they lost their gateway, they lost their puzzle technology, they basically lost everything. And now it's up to the final mission, the final battle at Hammond Robotics. I'm not sure if it's their base, it was not explained properly, but I think it's one of their main bases. So like I said, Graves is on the side of militia now, McCallan is dead, and Spyglass steps up. Spyglass is the guy who actually, he was the guy who told you where Titan will drop, you know, he's the technical guy. And it's actually not the guy, it's an AI, it's a robot, it's a huge system made by AMC, you know, the huge AI. And yeah, he takes the control of the AMC's operations. he's basically their leader now, and as they go off to the final battle, the main militia objective here is to destroy Spectre factories, you could say, that produce the Spectres, the robots, the AIs that fight against you, so they can end the war. And so basically, because without the Spectres, IMC would have no fighting force, since they don't have enough fuel thanks to the destruction of Demeter, and if the Spectres are destroyed, there's basically nothing they can keep on doing offense with. So that's what Militia's main objective is right there. So, and as the battle goes on, the Graves on Militia side and Blisk, the blonde guy who engaged McKellen, have a conversation. Graves tries to kinda have a peace treaty with him. He wants to say that they need to end this war, that they should fight against robots, not against each other, and that this war is stupid. But Blisk is he's just you know, he's a war guy. He wants to fight, he wants to sell this. It's between them two, you know. They basically, he's like, they're his nemesis, so he just wants to end it right here, right now. This is how their conversation ends. And you could say that Militia's attack is going well. They again succeed. They destroy a few Spectre facilities, not all of them, but a few of them they destroyed, and the headquarters. I think the Hammond Robotics are headquarters, and they destroy a few facilities. And after that, there goes the epilogue, the big explosion, you know, the ending. And you know, Militia, from the Militia you could say the winner. So they just say that they won, that they, you know, they succeed. While when you end the campaign for AMC, it's more like you lost, but there's still a big treat for Frontier, because you know, this huge corporation, it's not like they destroyed them, it just like crippled them a little bit. So yeah, both Blisk and Graves are alive, so I think that this story may be continued in Titanfall, because it is not really set how it all ended. It kinda ends with a little bit of a cliffhanger, you could say. And yeah, I'm really looking forward, maybe some DLC or Titanfall 2 will explore this campaign a little bit more, make it a little bit longer. The campaign could, you know, drag you in a little bit more, because right now most people just skip through it. They don't know what happened, but actually after I read through a few articles, I actually think that the story is pretty good. You got, I know it's basic, you got a traitor, you got another traitor, you got some death, and yeah, it's pretty good, you could say. It's simple, but good for a shooter game. Yeah, I think this is pretty much it. So yeah, I think that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, tell me what you think about it in the comments, tell me what next Titanfall lore you want me to do, and I'll be sure to listen to your ideas. I got a few more plans, so, and this was actually really fun, so I'm looking forward to the next video that I will do, and until then, I will see you next time.